Hello everyone and a good morning. We are starting a new series today about the CHIYUV. Is there such a thing? If indeed it's under all circumstances, or is it just made up? And let's start right from the beginning. Is there such a thing as a CHIYUV to daven during the week? The answer is there is a source, but it's twice removed, and I'll explain. The Kobo. Rav Aharon Milunil, one of the Rishonim, died in 1330 in Mallorca, actually says in his halachic work called the Kobo, that indeed there was this famous story brought, not in the classical midrashim, but it's a very known story about some guy that got, unfortunately, to sleep and had a terrible dream. And in this dream, one of the balabatim he knew was working very hard, and he asked him why, and he said, unfortunately, this is my punishment into Gehenna. So this fine gentleman who's having the dream asked him, well, is there anything I can do to help you? He says, you can't, but my son can. If my son will indeed do the following things, then he can help me get out of this work that I'm doing in Gehenna. And what was the work that his son should do on behalf of his father? I quote, Im lo sheyomar beni Kaddish, o yaftir benavi lichvod Hashem ba'avuri. If he says Kaddish and he gets maftir, namely reads the Haftorah in my honor. Those are the two things he can do to help me. And indeed, this gentleman wakes up, remembers his dream, tells the son does it, and ultimately this guy comes back to him in the dream and says, Tanuach da'atcha shehinachta da'ati, you help me greatly. So the Kobel says, based on this beautiful story, Pashat minhag, there is a minhag that indeed is very widespread, to do the following. A, Lomar ben Oam shall mate Kaddish, that the son of the departed, namely for the father or mother, should say Kaddish. 2, Gam lahaftir ben avi, and to say maftir and to indeed say the Haftorah. And number 3, he should daven Ma'ariv every Motzei Shabbos, because on Shabbos all the neshamos are taken out of Gehenna but returned to there on Motzei Shabbos. So if you can do something exactly at that time, it's going to be beneficial. That's the actual source for what we call the CHIYUV. But as you can see, the CHIYUV is for 3 things: to say Kaddish, to read the Haftorah, and to daven Ma'ariv on Motzei Shabbos. There's nothing in this source about davening every single day. When the Ramah brings this lahalacha, he indeed starts, just like the Kobo, with these 3 things, and says, Nahagu lomar al av ve'em kaddish batra yud bet kodesh. Number 1, you say Kaddish for the year. Number 2, Nahagu laftir ben avi, to say maftir and have the Haftorah every week. And number 3, Ulhit palel arvit b'motzei Shabbatot, and to daven Ma'ariv on Motzei Shabbos. And then he goes on, the Ramah, and adds to this his own opinion, and there's no source brought in the Ramah for it. So obviously, it probably started in the time of the Ramah, so sometime in the 1500s. The Ramah's the rabbi in Krakow, and he codifies what he probably saw. He goes on to say that the Avelim are to daven and say Kaddish on Shabbos and Yontiv, but lo nagulit palel b'Shabbos b'Yontiv. They no minhag to lead davening on Shabbos and Yontiv. And indeed, the common custom is that when you're in Avelus, you do not lead davening on Shabbos and Yontiv, even if you lead it during the week. And even though there's no Isser, the Ramah says that's the minhag. But, says the Ramah, b'Yemot HaChol, adds the Ramah all of a sudden out of nowhere, that during the weekdays, Misha Yodeh Litpalel Yitpalel. So this is not written in the Kobo. This was not in the original source, but he says during the week you should daven. So it's not just Motzei Shabbos, but it's during the week. V'yoter mo'il mikadish yatom, and it's even better than Kaddish, because Kaddish yatom is only nitkan ela lektanim, is for those that are underage, and they could say Kaddish. But me, someone that knows how to daven and to lead services, it's even better than Kaddish. But whoever cannot lead all services should lead from Ashrei Uval Etzion. So as you can see, there is a source, But the source talks about A, Maftir, B, Kaddish, and C, Motzei Shabbos Ma'ariv. It does not talk about anything else. The Ramah added the minhag of davening every day, but not on Shabbos and Yom Tov. So it's twice removed, but there is a source. But as you could see from the Ramah, and with this we conclude for today, the Ramah was very clear when he said, and I quote, "Umishi yodea lihitpalel kol hatfilah mitpalel." Whoever knows how to daven and lead services should daven, meaning whoever cannot should not. So, God willing, tomorrow we will deal with, is this under all circumstances, or is this under certain circumstances? Yeshodem,